At home, Sharon picks up a family portrait of Mariah, Tessa, and Aria and holds it to her chest. Nick comes to the door and begins rambling about the trip to France. He has already planned out an itinerary for their free time. There are beaches and restaurants they can hit up when he's not busy watching out for his mom. Nick notices something is wrong. Sharon admits she's worried about Mariah. Her daughter is hurting and won't tell her or Tessa about it. She immediately assumed it must have been a one-night stand, but this seems like something more traumatic. Mariah has refused to seek therapy and has shut down all her attempts to discuss this. Nick is sure that Mariah is tough and resilient and will get to the other side of this. Sharon isn't so sure. It's like a dark cloud is over her daughter, and she's terrified. Sharon muses that Mariah's memories of Ian are torturing her. She admits that she flashes back to him sometimes herself, but shuts the thoughts down and refuses to give him any power over her life. Her daughter can't do that and must live with those thoughts constantly. The damage Mariah is doing to herself by refusing to get help is hard to watch. Sharon isn't sure it's a good idea for her to go to France while her daughter is dealing with this. Nick can understand, but he admits he'll be disappointed if she doesn't go. Sharon wonders what he means by that. Nick says they had a great time in London, and it reminded him that traveling with her is a lot of fun. He was looking forward to doing that again. Sharon says she had fun too, but this trip would be different since it would be the two of them. He points out a lot of other people will be there and admits he's worried the trip feels like a disaster waiting to happen. He doesn't like that Dumas is dominating all of their lives and will probably tell him that. If Dumas goes after Chancellor and his mom, Nick will go after him. Nick was hoping Sharon would be there to talk him down if he started boiling over. Sharon assures him she wants to go, but she needs to look out for her daughter. Nick tells her that if things change, the offer still stands. He worries that the trip is a smokescreen to get them all out of town, so Sharon offers to keep her eyes and ears open. In Chancellor Park, Tessa begs Mariah to tell her what is going on. She says she doesn't know that she can. Tessa can sense it is big, but assures her she doesn't have to carry this any longer. What's holding her back? I'm scared, Mariah admits. She realizes she hasn't been good at hiding this. Tessa says she can never hide anything from her, especially a broken heart. Something has clearly hit her so hard that she can't even open up to her. As Tessa pushes, Mariah tells her she won't understand it because she doesn't understand it herself. There is nothing safe in telling you about what I did, she says, nothing. Tessa assures her wife will always be safe with her. That's not making this easier for Mariah. After some more gentle prodding, Mariah admits she fell apart while she was away. She couldn't get Ian out of her head. Every time she fell asleep, she could see him mocking her. Heather died because he was obsessed with her. Sharon nearly lost her mind. Victor was shot, and Lucy no longer has a mom. All of these things happened thanks to Ian's obsession with Mariah. She couldn't handle the guilt any longer. Crying, she says the guilt has wrecked her. Tessa had no idea Mariah was going through this and asks why she never called her or reached out. Taking her hand, Tessa asks again for Mariah to tell her what happened on her trip. Mariah explains that the thoughts get worse late at night. When watching TV failed, she went out to have a drink and she kept drinking. Tessa is surprised to hear this, but she's not angry. Mariah says she should have been thinking of her and the baby, but she wasn't. She felt heartbroken and lost. As she flashes back to drinking with a man in a bar, she shudders. Tessa pleads for her to tell her what else happened. This has gone on too long, and she needs to know so they can move on. With tears running down her cheeks, Mariah flashes back to the man again. He offered her his hand. As she remembers taking it, she shudders again. I can't go back there, she blurts out, leaping from the bench. Tessa pleads with her not to shut down again, but Mariah runs. In the club dining room, Daniel excitedly tells Phyllis that something finally clicked for him today. He never imagined that playing the guitar would be the thing to pull him out of the hole he's been living in. Tessa has been fantastic and a great teacher. They even wrote a song. At the first opportunity, Phyllis whispers she has news about Dumas. Her son grimaces, and she guesses he won't want to hear this. Daniel reminds her that Dumas ducked out of their last possible meeting, but his mom insists it will be different this time because Amanda has procured an invitation for her. Worried, Daniel assumes she will take an expensive trip to Nice and nothing will happen. She explains all the heavy hitters in Genoa City have been summoned and something big is going down. She's looking forward to watching them squirm and then using what she learns to her advantage. Daniel's sure she'll just get the door slammed in her face again. He wishes she would listen to reason and stay home. Phyllis complains no one at home will hire her. She knows that Dumas has his eye on Chancellor and something big is going down. You are just going to be a sitting duck caught in the crossfire, Daniel warns. Phyllis insists she's prepared to pounce and will capitalize on whatever goes down. All the idiots who make fun of her will be forced to eat their words. Daniel warns she sounds like a desperate shark swimming around for prey. Phyllis doesn't appreciate the analogy. She's just trying to get back on top where she belongs. It's called ambition, and you could use a little of it, she points out. Daniel refuses to apologize for spending his time playing guitar to get peace of mind. His mom says that won't put bread on the table. Phyllis is trying to restore her sanity and says she's doing this for him too. Daniel doesn't want her help, but she's convinced he'll change his tune when she comes back with the world in the palm of her hand. Phyllis makes her way to the bar, where Daniel repeats that going to the party will not get her what she is looking for. She tells him she'd be an idiot not to go to a party where the mystery man will reveal himself. Daniel knows he's being a drag, but he doesn't want to see her let down again. She asks him to trust her instincts. Dumas is a powerful guy. She'll make him love her and beg to work with her. Phyllis is confident she'll end up as the biggest deal in town. She's as relentless as a shark. Sharks are winners, and so is she. She makes her son promise not to be a buzzkill next time she sees him. As Daniel heads out, he runs into Nick and Sharon in the foyer. Nick starts chuckling as Daniel asks him to talk Phyllis out of her latest crazy business idea. Even without knowing the details, Nick guesses Daniel is right that it will end poorly. After Daniel warns this scheme is out there, even by his mom's standards, he exits. Nick and Sharon approach Phyllis by the bar. They chat about Nikki's party and her fancy new car. Phyllis is surprised that Sharon was at the shindig given that she's hardly Nikki's favorite person. Nick looks uncomfortable as Phyllis pastes on a smile, and Sharon explains she was Nick's guest. Phyllis brings up the Dumas party and jokes that it sounds like he better hire a referee to get between the Newmans and Abbotts. Nick admits he doesn't know why the Winters family were invited. Phyllis informs them that Dumas invited her to France too. Nick and Sharon are shocked. Still sniffling, Mariah walks into Crimson Lights and pounds her purse on the table. Daniel notices she's distraught. She snaps at him when he asks if she's all right and then apologizes. He mentions Tessa said she was upset. She says Tessa shouldn't have said that because it is no one's business. Tessa rushes in and her wife repeats that she doesn't want to talk to her right now. When Tessa begs her not to be afraid, Mariah snaps again. Just give me some space. Quit breathing down my neck. You're just making it worse, she declares before storming out. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Jolie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The world of the young and the restless is known for drama, and no one has ever thrown a party with more turmoil without an explosive twist on the soap. So what does that mean for Aristotle Dumas? This extravagant party in the south of France feels less like a celebratory affair and more like the precursor to a backstabbing scandal. It seems like this might be a little larger than business. A personal and potentially dangerous dilemma is about to unfold, and I suspect that what happens will involve more than one unsuspecting partygoer. And of course, there is Victor Newman, who is known for crafting an agenda for his guests before they even set foot on the boat. Victor looks like he is gunning for someone who happens to be an individual he just contracted, which strongly suggests that this event is meant for leverage, not leisure. Victor does not operate with direct motives, so if he feels strongly about the presence of this guest, he would likely want nothing more than to exploit them. At the very least, he might make sure they cannot renege on whatever continuing drama he has planned. Given that Holden has been nosing around after being terminated, I think we can assume that some internal strife is about to unfold on the young and the restless. While things may be messy on the business side, the emotional weight will be carried by Mariah's story. Tessa knows that something has been bothering her wife since she got back, and now we know it is not just mild discomfort or tension. Mariah is scared to death of what happened, and the fact that she won't even tell Sharon says it all. For someone as strong and outspoken as Mariah to be this frightened, it must have been truly traumatic. She tells Tessa it was worse than a one-night stand, so that rules out anything like the usual soap stuff, like infidelity or temptation. That word, worse, is going to haunt me. Whatever happened shook Mariah to the core, and she has been trying to push it down. But we all know how secrets work in Genoa City. They don't stay buried for long. If Mariah even attends Dumas's party, or if someone there is connected to her secret, look out. I see the writers seemingly converging on a place where corporate drama and personal trauma overlap. We could see alliances shatter, betrayals within Victor's inner circle, and someone's deepest, darkest hour revealed, all at one spectacular event on the young and the restless. Dumas has been established as a powerful but now invisible force for several weeks. This party taking place on Friday the 13th is not just an entertaining coincidence. It is purposefully symbolic. Someone is going to experience a reputation implosion, and I would wager it might not be just a single individual. Whether it's Holden scheming to try and wriggle his way back in, Victor reestablishing some control, or Mariah's secret finally losing its power to explode, this is the kind of event that redefines the canvas of this entire show. Fans who thought they would get a casual detour or filler episode might want to rethink that, because this is not a throwaway storyline. Dumas's party is a powder keg already poised to change relationships, break trust, and shift power dynamics throughout Genoa City. As someone who has watched this show long enough to recognize a setup when I see one, I will tell you this. This is where it all falls apart. I can't wait to watch it unfold on the young and the restless. Michelle Stafford and the Y&R cast delved into a sweet treat on set of the soap opera. Michelle Stafford and her castmates have a busy schedule on the young and the restless set. Between rehearsals and getting ready for filming, the day can be hectic. However, on one particular day, the cast took a mini break to enjoy a delicious treat. On June 6th, the Y&R cast and crew celebrated National Donut Day with their favorite sweet treat. Stafford posted an Instagram video of her and her co-star's excitement when the desserts are delivered. I meant to post this yesterday to celebrate one of my favorite holidays. #National Donut Day. One of our amazing stage managers, #Fritzy, surprised us all with donuts. We've been shooting very long hours recently at Y&R. I hope you enjoy what's to come, Stafford captioned the post. The video starts with Stafford and co-star Michelle Morgan in the makeup room. It's National Donut Day. Let's go get donuts, everybody, Stafford declares. Morgan and the crew shout donuts before following Stafford out the room. Who doesn't want a donut? Stafford asks as she walks down the hall. As the group makes their way on set, they meet up with many of the other cast. Susan Walter excitedly screams, "We get donuts," which makes Stafford giggle. It's as if we've never eaten, Stafford joked. Actors are notorious for eating the free food. I think because we're broke most of the time until we get a gig. The group then passes by Peter Bergman, and Stafford asks if he got a donut. Oh yeah, he holds his half-eaten donut. Stafford and her castmates finally reach the table where the delicious treats await. It's from Fritzy. Stafford pointed the camera towards the Y and our stage manager as everyone thanked him. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease that Audra Charles might return from her trip to France with a baby on the way. Is it possible that Audra is coming back home pregnant with Kyle Abbott's child? And is there some funny business in the works? Audra is engaging in a perilous game that is likely to culminate in catastrophe, having a disastrous outcome. While she believes she can manage the situation, there's a chance she might lose grip on the trap she's creating and take things too far. With Kyle having signed the agreement that binds him to pay $5 million and vacate the town if he breaks Claire Newman's heart, it's only a matter of time before heartbreak truly occurs. As per Y and R spoilers, Audra will persuade Kyle to attend Aristotle Dumas' party once Victor Newman fulfills his promise regarding the 2 invitations. From that point, Audra will attempt to draw Kyle further into her scheme and ultimately shatter his relationship with Claire for good, whether with lies or truth. Yet Audra might find herself taken aback when actual sparks ignite once more with Kyle, and maybe he with her. That's how he lost Summer Newman. A sincere wave of temptation could be simmering beneath the surface, particularly with alcohol and perhaps even drugs involved. Additionally, Dumas' narrative promises an element of danger, which might create moments where Kyle rises to the occasion as Audra's guardian. Regardless of the situation, there will be compelling reasons for Audra to draw nearer to Kyle and potentially view him through a different lens. Even though Audra always intended to merely create the appearance of impropriety, a genuine scandal could very well unfold in the end. Audra might end up betraying Nate Hastings in a significant way, while Kyle could do the same to Claire. If Kyle and Audra end up in bed together, it might lead to Audra returning from France with a shocking surprise. What if Audra comes back pregnant with Kyle's child? This could devastate Audra's relationship with Nate and completely shatter Kyle's romance with Claire if another woman is carrying his baby. There would be a lasting reminder of the hurt Kyle has inflicted on Claire, which would surely please Victor, as this potential baby news could drive them apart. Nevertheless, upcoming spoilers for the CBS soap indicate that Audra will adjust her plans along the way and may encounter some unforeseen challenges as a result. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks suggest curveballs and bombshells. From June 9 to 20, 2025, it is teased that Aristotle Dumas is likely Kane Ashby. Meanwhile, Tessa Porter won't give in to Phyllis Summers' demand. Also, Mariah Copeland could continue a downward spiral as she keeps a sinister secret. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Nick Newman invited Sharon Newman to be his +1 at Dumas' party. However, Sharon had to bow out at the last minute due to Mariah's crisis. That will lead to Nick giving that invitation to Phyllis, who has been eager to score a face-to-face meeting with Dumas. Despite the truce between the 2 women, Phyllis and Sharon still do get jealous of each other when it comes to Nick. This trip to Nice is no exception. Tessa is determined to get Mariah to open up to her about what happened on her business trip. The singer knows something bad happened, but is more worried about her wife's mental health. The brunette mentioned that Mariah has been quietly sobbing in the middle of the night. Tessa tries to push and it backfires. Mariah does admit that she got drunk and met an older gentleman, but she says it's not safe to tell her any more than that. What does that mean? It seems that Mariah might have committed a crime. With Mariah experiencing déjà vu, it sounds like her mental health will take a downward spiral. Fans watched as an excited Daniel Romalotti Jr. gushed to his mother about learning the guitar. The widow was really excited and had a spark that hadn't been seen since Heather Stevens' death. Instead of being happy for Daniel, Phyllis goes after Tessa. However, Tessa stands her ground. Also, Audra Charles keeps a secret from Nate Hastings. Holden Novak eavesdrop on Audra's chat with Victor Newman about Kyle Abbott. Holden recently became friends with Claire Grace Newman, so I wonder what Holden will do with the information. Speaking of Holden, his friendship with Damian Kane is tested. Chelsea Lawson turns to Nikki Newman. Meanwhile, Sally Spectra does damage control for Billy Abbott. Plus, Danny Romalotti and Christine Blair return. During the week of June 16, fans will probably see Dumas' party kick off. Everyone is looking forward to Billy Flynn's character making his debut. There are signs that he could be playing Kane, who could also be Dumas. That would be a shocker for Lily Winters as well as everyone else. Dumas kept turning down meetings with Phyllis. Everyone assumes that it's because Dumas doesn't want to do business with her. However, maybe it's because if a meeting takes place, then Phyllis will be able to ID him. The recent episodes of The Young and the Restless resumed the much-anticipated Mariah and Tessa storyline. In earlier episodes, it was noted that Mariah had gone on a work trip, and upon her return, she acted differently, which worried Tessa. In the current scenario of The Young and the Restless, while Mariah looked upset, Sharon Newman asked what bothered her. Sharon even questioned if Mariah had committed infidelity on her work trip, to which she replied, "So much worse." Many fans of the daytime soap opera were shocked to hear the same and started speculating about it. A fan by the name of Michelle Fillery commented on a discussion post by another fan on Facebook. Michelle wrote the comment on a discussion post started by another fan named Truly Ann on Facebook on June 7, 2025. The post read, "Truly Ann shared her thoughts on the current scenario of the soap opera." The fan speculated that Mariah must have slept with someone, probably Dumas, the most talked-about person in Genoa City. Truly also suggested that Dumas is none other than Kane. Many fans of the daytime soap opera took an interest in the post and commented on their views on the same. Some fans speculated the possibility of Mariah killing someone who looks like Ian. On the other hand, several fans of The Young and the Restless expressed their views on the boring storyline. They also made assumptions about the real identity of Aristotle Dumas. In the recent episode of the daytime soap opera, The Young and the Restless, which aired on June 6, 2025, a piece of shocking information came to light. Previously, Mariah returned from a work trip feeling a bit upset. When Tessa confronted her and apologized in case she had done something wrong, Mariah responded by saying that it wasn't Tessa who needed to apologize, it was her. Tessa was taken aback, and for the longest time, fans suspected she must have cheated on her. However, recently, when Sharon Newman asked if Mariah had had a one-night stand with someone during her trip, the latter replied with "so much worse." This led the fans to speculate that she must be involved in something shady, like drugs, kidnapping, or even worse, murder. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal there are 3 must-see moments during the week of June 9, 2025. Fans can expect Tessa Porter to stand her ground with Phyllis Summers. Damian Kane and Holden Novak's friendship is tested. Plus, Audra Charles keeps a secret from Nate Hastings. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. One must-see moment features Phyllis and Tessa. Phyllis heard all about Daniel Romalotti's joy over learning the guitar. Daniel even told his mother about making a song with Tessa. Instead of being happy that her son was excited about something, Phyllis looked jealous. Expect Phyllis to confront Tessa and order her to stop spending time with Daniel. However, Tessa will remind Red that Daniel came to her and they are just playing guitar. Even though Phyllis will try to get her way, Tessa stands her ground. Over with Damian, his friendship with Holden will be tested. Damian was ordered by Aristotle Dumas to fire Holden. Damian opened up to Lily Winters about it and tried to get Holden in at Winters. Holden might not wait long enough to find that part out, though. These two have been through a lot together and are best friends. For many years, the only person that Damien had that he could trust was Holden. So let's see if their friendship can survive this challenge. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Audra will keep a secret from Nate. Audra clearly has to tell Nate that she's going to Dumas' party in Nice. However, she can't tell him that she's been ordered by Victor Newman to take Kyle Abbott. So Audra will have to come up with a cover story over why she's not inviting Nate to the event. It is also teased that Maria Copeland will experience déjà vu. What exactly did she do while on her business trip? And what is the connection to the older man? It seems more like Mariah and this mystery man committed some kind of crime rather than an intimate betrayal. How would it be dangerous for Mariah to tell Tessa, though? The Young and the Restless spoilers show that Maria Copeland encountered a stranger that resembled evil Ian Ward while she was out of town. Then all heck broke loose, according to shell-shocked Mariah. We are one step closer to learning what went down that night with Mariah, having remembered a key scene last week. Did this drive her over the edge and cause her to do something criminal and immoral? She sure is acting like it. Let's take a deep dive into the mystery that is slowly unraveling. Up to this point, Mariah has admitted to doing something awful while she was on a business trip for Cassidy First. At some point, Ian's name entered the picture, and last week, we saw a flashback in which a scary-looking old man told her she looked like she could use a friend. At that point, it became clear that Mariah did not cheat, which is what we all had been led to believe based on her wacky behavior toward her wife, Tessa Porter. Instead of committing garden-variety adultery, Mariah confessed that if that was all it was, she would have copped to it in a heartbeat. Instead, what Mariah did is far, far worse. Oy vey all day. Poor Mariah is struggling to comprehend why she did whatever it is she did. It's almost like she disassociated and was in some sort of trance. In the June 9 episode, fans will see another flashback of Mariah drinking with the stranger and taking his hand, possibly giving him the notion that she was interested in him. Last week, we also found out that Mariah is afraid to spill the beans to her mom Sharon Newman and wife Tessa because she feels a need to protect them. Protect them from what is the million-dollar question. At this point, the situation has taken a dark turn. Did the stranger think he was going to get lucky with drunk Mariah? Truth be told, he looks as geriatric as they get. But this is what we have to work with. We can't count out the possibility that Mariah drunkenly went to this man's room for more drinks and things got out of hand. Did the man come on to Mariah and she hallucinated that he was Ian? If indeed she thought that Ian was pushing her to have sex, she would have done something drastic. She would have fought the man, and he looked frail enough to break like a crusty pretzel. It could be that Mariah fled, or someone helped her to cover up a crime scene. It's also possible that Mariah imagined the encounter and or imagined harming the stranger. Tell us why, and our fans, now that we know Ian has somehow influenced Mariah's behavior, what do you think truly happened that awful night? Kyle just took the biggest gamble of his life on the Young and the Restless. The Abbott hair is going above and beyond to prove to Victor that he's committed to Claire. But his deal with the mustache might have Kyle packing his bags and hightailing it out of town. Ever since Kyle and Claire started dating, the couple has tried to earn her grandfather's approval. Victor has his reasons for not giving his approval. First, he's unhappy about Claire dating the son of his longtime rival, Jack. Second, Victor remembers the heartbreak Kyle put his other granddaughter Summer through, and doesn't want Claire suffering the same fate. With Victor being stubborn, Kyle decided to use a business tactic to sway the Newman patriarch. Kyle agreed to sign a contract stating he'd leave town and pay Victor $5 million if he breaks Claire's heart. The paperwork has been signed, and now Kyle faces an uncertain future as Victor and Audra conspire against him. Given Victor's history of always winning, Lai and our fans are worried Kyle's time in Genoa City is ending soon. This will all blow up once Claire finds out. Another odd storyline. Kyle or Claire will leave the show or so-called move like Noah, a fan wrote on Reddit. Will Kyle fall for Audra's charms? For the Tuesday, June 7 episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers photos show Audra turning No the charm and Lily digging for details. It's a big day for Kyle, and he better keep his wits about him. He heads to the club where he runs into Audra, and it looks like she's turning on the charm. She's good and ready to do Victor's bidding. She knows what's at stake, and she knows completing this little seduction mission will get her everything she wants. Will Kyle fall for her act, though? Audra isn't the only person he spends some time with during this episode. He also checks in with Jack at home. The men share a cup of coffee and have a little father-son chat. Will they discuss the drama and chaos they know is coming their way? We're sure by the time Diane joins the men, they'll have a whole lot to say. Speaking of coffee, Lily and Damien hit up Crimson Lights to get a cup to start their day. They have much to talk about, especially with this Dumas trip coming up fast. Will Lily get her new flame to finally open up about his old boss? Why is he keeping his insider scoop so close to the vest anyway?